Air Bud Spikes Back is the fifth and final Air Bud film. This was released in 2003. It's directed by Mike Southon, written by Anne Vince and Anna McRoberts. And we have a cast including Katija Pevec as Andrea. Kevin Sagers is not actually in this one. This one does focus on Andrea. And honestly, it got a little bit emotional. Near the start of the film, her best friend is moving away, and it was honestly really heartbreaking. And part of the film is about her wanting to earn money to go and visit her friend. And we also have somebody in the neighborhood who plays volleyball, and she becomes friends with this boy. And well, I won't say too much more about that. That's where the volleyball element comes into it. And I don't care for volleyball, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was quite interesting. Interesting for me because not only do I not care for volleyball, but I really don't know anything about it. So there were actually, as she was being taught some techniques, I actually found that a lot more interesting than I'd expected to. So the narrative itself, absolutely fine. And then we come to Buddy. As I've mentioned in the previous three descriptions, I think, the previous three films, Buddy kind of took a bit of a backseat, despite the fact that it's an Air Bud film. He wasn't really the most prominent character. He wasn't in it as much as I wanted him to be. But with this one, I'd say he was in it a little bit more. Not necessarily as heavily involved with the sport aspect as much as I'd expected, but he is actually on screen a really decent amount, and there are other dogs, and there's a bird, and there are quite a lot of animals in this, and that part of it I really liked as well. So I have to say, this one is actually probably one of the strongest. I feel like with the absence of Kevin Sagers, and we don't obviously have any character development for Josh, I mean, we learn a little bit about what he's doing, but obviously he's not actually in the film. And I don't know if people will dislike that. I haven't read any reviews or anything, but it does have on IMDb 4 out of 10 across 2.2 thousand reviews and ratings. Not a great score, but for a fifth film in a series, that's not actually too bad. It's not amazing, but 5 films in, it's okay. And personally, I quite liked it. Yeah, would have liked it if Josh had been in it and we got to kind of finish the series by continuing his journey. But Andrea is still a really good protagonist. Buddy is absolutely adorable. And as I said, the dogs, there are various dogs and they're all in it a pretty decent amount. So I'm quite happy. I would say it's maybe my third favourite. I'd say my favourite would be a tie between the first one and Seventh Inning Fetch, which was either the previous film or the one before it, the baseball one. And then I'd say this one. And then with the basketball and soccer ones, I'll probably rate them together. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. Air Bud Spikes Back is a decent film. Not too bad at all, particularly for the fifth film. It doesn't surprise me that they stopped at 5. They could have continued. There are many more sports, but I feel like by this point, it's absolutely ran its course. But I still enjoyed it. And if you like the previous films and you think you're maybe considering watching this, give it a go. I think it's slightly better than some of the others. Maybe not the strongest, but pretty decent. Air Bud Spikes Back is not a bad way to end the Air Bud series.